In this quick tip, we'll take a look at a typical rhythm section of drums, bass, and guitar. But for this one, we're going to focus on a quick way to get the bass mixed. So there's your drums. Let's solo up the bass. There's the guitar. Okay, now the bass is a picked bass part. You can hear the attack. Let's get the rhythm section going with bass and drums. You can really hear the pick attack and see that the bass clipped a little bit on input. That's a typical scenario, so let's work on it. There's your clip, and first we'll start with the Oxford Dynamics. We'll call it up here. And the first thing I'll do is go to the limiter. You access it here, you put it in line, and adjust the threshold. That's too much, obviously. You can see the input is clipping, but the output now isn't. And now let's put a little compression in. Access. Something around 4:1 will work. Go with the soft limit. Adjust the threshold. You can see that softened the whole curve here. Let's put it in the rhythm section. A little makeup gain. Let's add it to the whole track. We're no longer clipping on output. Let's work on softening that pick attack a little bit. But instead of using an EQ to roll off some of the top end, we're going to call up the Oxford suppressor, which you usually think of for de-essing. However, it works great on bass. Let's roll the track a little bit. What we can do is suppress only what's between these frequency bands. Just lower the threshold fader. Make them a little wider. Keep adjusting the threshold. Make it a little wider. Exaggerate it. Okay, that's a little too wide. We'll tighten it up. Bypass it. We're smoothing out just the frequencies between those bands. Keep adjusting. Make it a little tighter. Just want to find that pick noise. It's working nice. Let's put it in the track. The reason I want to reduce the pick noise off the top of that bass is the guitar is playing the same part, and it's got the top end covered. Let's bypass it one more time. And there we go. Again, all I wanted to do is pull down some of the pick frequencies on that bass part, but leave everything else untouched. Let's get a little gain happening here using the Oxford inflator. We'll just call it up. I use the inflator to add a little extra gain and presence to instruments, and it's especially useful on the bass. We'll add a little input gain and push up the effect and curve. There you go, you can hear that little extra presence. Let's bypass all three plugins and see where we started. We got a rounder, bigger bass sound now. Put it in the track. So we use the Oxford Dynamics for some limiting and compression, the suppressor to take off some of the pick noise, and the inflator to give it a little gain and presence.